and welcome to India Bet. Today we're going to look at the first Indian Premier League playoff between the Delhi Daredevils and the Kolkata Knight Riders. It's been played at the Pune Subrata Roy Stadium, and it's a huge game. Whoever wins this game goes through to the final. Whoever loses it gets a second chance, but they're going to be tied. They'll have to play the winner of the second playoff, and it's a real blow to not win this game and just get automatically through to the final. The bookies can't really tell these two teams apart. The Daredevils are 10 to 11 with William Hill to win this game, and the Knight Riders are evens. They're both fantastic sides. I mean, Gazan Gambhir's been playing so consistently. He's scored over 500 runs this season. In the same sense, Sehwag, who's been rested for the last few games, is should be playing and will return to the team, looking to really get a nice big knock, like he was knocking, alongside Kevin Peterson. They've both got really strong lower orders. The Knight Riders have Tawari, Delhi Daredevils have Jai Wardner, Ross Taylor. They're both outstanding batting sides. But they're also both terrific with the ball. The top wicket taker, Morning Morkel, is obviously playing for the Delhi Daredevils, and I mean he's ferocious. Especially against those openers, he's going to he's really good at keeping the run rate down early and just taking those essential early wickets. On the other side of the park, Nareen, we've just been blown away by him this season. Sunil Nareen is just a class act. An exemplary IPL bowler. His economy rate is farcically low, about 5 runs per over, and he bowls at the death, and he bowls. Players just can't read it coming off the track. He's a terrific bowler, and he will be a real danger man tomorrow. The Pune wicket is very difficult to play on. I think the highest score we've seen this season there is about 170, and there have been very few games where more than 150 have been scored on that track, and hence I'd be selling runs tomorrow. But I think the Knight Riders could be in with a real chance, because Nareen will really be able to work this wicket. It's very difficult to read his play, and the ball is going to be coming off in all directions off this wicket. So I can see Nareen picking up a lot of wickets, and I can see the Knight Riders edging it slightly. And at evens, I'd be very happy to take that. Daredevils, they lost to the RCB, in that enormous run chase, and it is another demonstration how the Daredevils like to put in the other team to bat first. So if the Daredevils win the toss, they'll be putting the Knight Riders into bat first. At which point you think that the Daredevils have a decent chance, because they're really, they're going to have to, chasing the Knight Riders shouldn't be too difficult for them. They like to see the score they're chasing. Meanwhile, the Knight Riders, if they get to put the Daredevils in first, and they really bowl hard at them, they could also be in a great chance. So it's really one for the toss, and whoever bats first is going to be at a real disadvantage, you'd imagine. Getting the chase in, it is very advantageous. Firstly, because Delhi don't like batting first, and secondly, because Delhi, as the dominant team in this equation, like to chase. So they'll want to be chasing in the same way that the Knight Riders would want to be chasing. However, and therefore expect to see a big shift in the price. Whoever bats first will be pushed out to about, maybe like 5 to 4, and you'll be seeing the same difference on the other side. In the batting markets, it's difficult to see past the likes of Gambhir for the Knight Riders, who's been playing so well. But Manoj Tiwari is 8 to 1 with Bet365. And that's a good price in my opinion, because there's no reason why Morkel's not going to come in there on this wicket and take some early wickets, and it might be down to the middle order and the lower middle order to score the runs, and Tiwari has the capacity to do that. We've seen that he can play in big games. Tiwari 8 to 1 would be my recommendation in terms of who's going to top score for the Knight Riders, although also 3 to 1 on Gambhir. It's a lovely price. You'd expect them to be more like 5 to 2. The Sehwag posted at 11 to 4 alongside Warner. Is also 11 to 4. Both of Ladbrokes to top score, and those openers I actually don't think a particularly good value. I think Norino will get in there, take some wickets. I think, Callis as well, also another great bowler. There's real bowling strength in the Kolkata Knight Riders, and they will take some early wickets. Again, I think it will be the middle, lower order who will feel the pressure. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game to begin with, the first 6 overs. I think there'll be not many runs scored, and then the lower middle order will be forced to really make a charge and take the risk towards the end of the game. So people like Ross Taylor, who's 6-1, bet 365 to top score, is a better bet in my opinion for top scorer there. It's a game in which I'm really going to be selling runs. I imagine the bookies will open up the runs at about 100 in the 150s to the 160s, and I think that's too high. Anything in the 160s you should be selling heavily. Anything in the 150s I'd be selling. I'd be surprised if they open the 140s, just because they're two teams that are, have such formidable names in their batting lineups. But it's really not worth ignoring the fact that both sides have excellent bowlers, and they're playing on a pitch where wickets get taken, and it's difficult to hit the ball out of the park, and it's a slow outfield. Anyway, it's a cracking game, an essential game. It should be. I'm sure you're thrilled and excited about it. One of the last games of this year's IPL, and who knows what's going to happen. The two teams could see each other in the final yet. Anyway, keep checking back at IndiaBet for betting previews, scores and updates, and enjoy the game. Cheers.